character?
Oh, the Necromancer, the beta test that I didn't get fucking invited to! Yes.
Yeah, I hear he's pretty powerful. He's pretty badass. I hear he can kick the shit out of his warrior.
Okay, first of all, I'm a fucking level 70 Crusader. Paragon, level 70 Crusader. Thank you fucking very much. I have beaten almost all the fucking difficulties until they fucking were buttholes and fucking released 6 fucking more. There's 12 fucking difficulties. How many difficulties do you need? Nobody can defeat me in pitched combat. Excelsior!
Nerds.
That match was so freaking unbelievable. It was like, I don't even know where to start on that thing, other than it had to be one of the greatest matches in the history of this industry. I know that people who were there live, and I mean, this is the, I did not stay up to watch it live. I knew I wasn't going to be able to make it. I think I stayed up to watch it. And then I decided to get up and watch the rest. Of course, I think I'll get up at 7 like usual. So I guess like the whole last week I caught up to me. I woke up at 10. So it's like, oh God, it's 10. Like I woke up at like 6:30. I think I watched the whole show. And from 10 is probably the news. I'm gonna find out all the results. I'm gonna look at my phone. And there's all these different text messages going on. And it's the greatest match in history of wrestling. The greatest match I've ever seen. The greatest match in history of wrestling. started watching the thing, and it's, I mean, I watched the show actually work, so I actually watched that from last. You know, everybody was talking about the last one. Just incredible fun. The first half of the show, honestly, I mean, it's weird. It was good. I mean, everything was good, except for the rumble. Not meant to be good. It's meant to be terrible, and it was terrible. And there was one 6-man tag that was 2 minutes long. It was a 2-minute long match. Everything else on the show was good, but it wasn't like great. It's like, you know.
No, and in fact, I watched all the way up to the Gorillas of Destiny match, and then I went to bed. And I went to bed thinking...
That's when I went to bed. Exactly when I went to bed.
Yeah, and it was like, it's a good show, but it's just a good show. There's nothing blowing my mind.
Yeah, there was nothing 4 stars or anything up to that point.
And literally the same thing. I didn't get text from Japan. But I woke up this morning, and all I got was, oh my god, this is the greatest match. Oh, everyone was raving about Kenny Omega, which actually sort of... I ended up watching the match. I went right to the main event. I didn't want to watch it. I'll watch the other match later. I went right to the main event after reading all of this. I've said this is my 3rd time saying it today, but it must be said. I don't take anything away from Kenny Omega, but this Okada deserves a lot of credit for this match. It's like everybody's doing nothing but talking about Kenny Omega, and it's like, this is a 2-man match, and Okada was unbelievable.
They were both unbelievable. The only thing about the match, I mean, it's like I almost hate to say anything negative, but I have to say something negative, because there was things in the match that concerned me. I mean, this match had every single element of a great match. I mean, I was thinking about this, it's like, it had the hard hitting, it had great athletic ability to the charge, it had the drama, the length, the build, psychology. I mean, there was like nothing that it had the violence, I mean, except for a bloodbath, and I'm glad they didn't do a bloodbath. And bloodbaths are yesterday's news anyway. But I mean, the point is, it had every element of, you take any great classic match in history, and this match had something from that in it. And from an if you go in the athletic ability, it was probably ahead of any match that I can think of, past a super Mexican match, but it had elements that the Mexican matches didn't have. And then, but the things that did bother me, the 2 spots that bothered me.
I can tell you what they were. You want me to guess?
Of course you're going to guess, because they're so obvious.
Pick off the top to the back of the head.
Well, that was, okay. That one was nasty as hell, but that didn't bother me as much as when I saw it. It was like, oh god, it's going to be a number on Okada's neck. But that was like, that's just like a spot where something happened. Now, I mean, I wasn't mad about that spot. Sometimes stuff happens and the timing is perfect.
Dragon suplex off the top rope.
The dragon suplex off the top rope. I hope nobody ever does that move again. I mean, to this point, it was just like, when I watched that, and then Steve Corino just goes, when he has his neck fusion surgery, he's going to remember this move. And it's like, I was thinking, it's like, that is just, it was an amazing spot, but unfortunately, like, I watched in the 90s when Miss Allen, Kobashi, and these guys, Kawada, Dr. Deck and everyone did that stuff. And it's just, the human neck is not made for this stuff. And he took it, these guys were doing it like from a suplex position in the ring. This guy took it from the top rope. I mean, Chris Benoit was insane. Dynamite Kid was insane. I never saw them do stuff like that. So that spot bothered me greatly.
Tom and I were talking about this too, and I would bet that every single solitary person watching thought the exact same thing when they set it up, which was 2 things. Either A, there's no way they're ever going to do this. Or B,
flip over.
Yeah, if they do it, the dude's going to flip over and land on his stomach.
Right, man, that's what I thought.
He did it. He fell on his head. And then they showed a replay. And I thought, you know what? Maybe it just looked really bad when I first watched it. Then they showed the replay, and it's like, that goddamn guy landed right on top of his head. That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, man. And then the other one was the backdrop onto the table. Just because it's like, it was too high and too far, and you couldn't control it. Like, if the table was longer, like it was a longer table, maybe it wouldn't be so bad, but he went so high, and he went a little bit to the side. It was like, it was enough to the side where it was like, oh my god, he's gonna freaking impale himself on back first, going through that table, and it's like, that's just not worth losing your life over having the greatest it's like, this was one of the greatest matches of all time. If you took both those spots out of the match, it's still one of the greatest matches of all time. And I just,
Well, I didn't mind the backdrop except for one thing about it. The table, the ringside area was a little bit up on a raised platform.
Oh, that was another problem with not just that.
It was not on a flat floor. He went through the table fine. The problem was, he went through the table and then he landed. We were just talking about Rick Rude. Right? Shawn Michaels in the casket. And he landed lower back on the edge of the platform. Yeah. That was what was so bad about that spot.
Well, that's what ended up being bad. But what could have been the worst is the impaling thing. I mean, it didn't happen, but it was like, he wasn't so far away from where the legs of the table were that if he landed on top of the legs of the table when it broke, that would have been like, it would have been like death. The other thing was, I think that, and I was thinking about this long before the main event, just watching the show and the way that platform was raised. And again, talking about Rick Rude, because Rick Rude was actually the Peak Local Dome, not the Tokyo Dome, but it was the same setup. This was safer than the one that Rick Rude had. I mean, Rick Rude was like, it was wooden elevation, and this was like mats, so the give is a lot more. But still, I was watching this going like, somebody's going to take a bump back first on this thing and get completely screwed up and sue me if you can, and they're going to deserve it because that's an unsafe environment. So I hope that they never set it up, or at least set it up to where you have those mats go further out, like at least all the way to the guardrails, halfway to the guardrail. So, because at least like once you're over the guard, if like the mats go all the way to the guardrail, you're gonna land. You're not gonna land with half of your body on the mat, half of your body not getting the ball broken up. So those are the bad things about it. The good things about it is that those guys are so fantastic wrestlers. It's not even funny. So while I'm watching this match, unfortunately, as I'm watching this match, so I don't know how long it's going. It was still great. It didn't bother my enjoyment of it, although I wish I stayed up for it, but it just wasn't happening. But as I'm watching, it was very clear in my mind about 35 minutes in that Kenny Omega should win this match, which I already thought anyway. We've talked about it before, that this was the time to do it. And actually, when the match was over, I wasn't as strong on that as I was at that point, because the way the match went, Kenny Omega got over so big and losing, and when it was over, it was almost like he wanted him to win the title even more than he did going in. Sure. So it didn't bother me at all, and now I actually think him losing is better, provided that he wins the championship before July. Now, if he doesn't win the championship before July, I think they're completely missing the boat. This guy, he absolutely needs to win the championship, because if they want to expand, he's a better winner than Okada. He's more charismatic than Okada. I don't want to say he's a better worker than Okada, because they're both like top tier workers. They both have fantastic matches. I mean, maybe Kenny's high-end matches are better than anyone's right now. They probably are, but that's not an issue. They're both great, and Okada's always going to be for the next 6, 7 years, 10 years, whatever it's going to be. He's going to be the top guy there. He's going to trade the championship back and forth. He's going to have his long range. He's going to be the focal point. But to believe that guy, him and Tanahashi are going to have great matches. Him and Shibata are going to have great matches. There's other guys that are going to come along where he's going to have great matches with, whether it's Kota Ibushi or whatever. But the big heated Super Okada Tanahashi program, it's like you can do it once a year, but it's now past. It's like the legendary program, which will be is 2012 to probably what G1 in 2016, and you can still do it, and I'm sure it'll still be great. But it's time for a new one. That's a long time for one big program. And Kenny's the guy for that program, which means he has to win some. And he has to win the next one, because you don't want him,
you don't want him chasing. And I really think that when they come to Long Beach in July, I think that it's like it's not necessary, and it's not like it's a game changer if this doesn't happen. But if I was booking, I would have Kenny Omega win the championship at Dominion in June. That would be what I would do. He would win it right before coming to, the Los Angeles show, and that would be like just a couple of weeks later. So the momentum would be there. Kenny would just have won the title, and I think that that's the time to bring him in because, the other one is if I'm freaking WWE.